Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsey's Little Library. So it's BookList Thursday, best day of the week, as always. So BookList Thursday is something that I do with my friend Sarah. Over at Sarah's Nightstand, we come to you every Thursday with some sort of book thoughts, recommendations, ideas, something bookish related. So today's topic is kind of a play on some videos that I know I've been doing lately. Sarah has done in the past, like the typical booktube video of if you like this book, then you'll like this book, but we're putting a little twist on it. So if you like this TV show, you should read this book. How's that sound? Kind of fun, right? We're gonna give it a whirl. So I have 5 different TV shows to talk about and more than 5 books to recommend based on those TV shows. So let's get started. The first type of TV show I want to talk about is like your documentary or your TV special following a specific story, something like that. Similar to the Netflix, I think it was, is it Netflix? Or is it, I think it's Netflix, just came out with a little documentary about Michelle Obama called Becoming. Also, her book is named Becoming, so I mean, could just read the book, but that feels like cheating to me. So if you like that type of a documentary or that type of a show that just investigates people's very interesting lives, I have a couple of book recommendations for you. So the first one is Educated by Tara Westover. This is her account or her memoir about growing up in a family who did everything they could to be off the grid. So she had a taste of school. She had a taste of what life was like. Like her grandparents lived a very normal life like you and I did, but her dad insisted on doing things very off the grid. She was mostly homeschooled, but she ended up kind of figuring out how to survive this life because it was not easy, and got herself into, was it Harvard? I want to say she got into Harvard. And I can't find where it says, but she gets herself into a very prestigious school. This is a ride. This is a book that I constantly had to remind myself that this really happened, because there's a lot of things that happen in this book that are very unbelievable. The writing, it feels like a nonfiction book as well. There is some, I guess, controversy around this book, saying that she maybe, you know, her memories don't always reflect the exact same memories as her brothers, which, okay, like this is just what she remembers in her account of it. So I just take it at that, and it is still a fantastic book. I really enjoyed it, so you'd love this. The other book that I highly encourage you to pick up is Made by Stephanie Land. So this really follows Stephanie as she figures out how to pull herself up by her bootstraps and get off of food stamps, get out of this hole she's found herself in, and make something of herself. And part of that journey is she is a maid to very wealthy people. Now, I liked that section of the book quite a bit. I liked kind of reading the things that she learned going into these houses. She even nicknamed each of these houses based upon what these residents did. I liked the comparisons she made between the more money you have, the more problems you have, or the more problems you have. And she did anything and everything she could for her daughter. She did anything and everything she could to get herself out of the situation she was in. Very interesting book. Another nonfiction that reads like a fiction. I truly enjoyed it. I follow her on Instagram. Like she's very interesting, a very interesting person to me, and what she went through and how she kind of pulled herself out. So another highly recommended book if you like those documentary type shows. So then the other show I want to compare to, I mean, they're like a dime a dozen. So there's like Blue Bloods, there is Law and Order, there is any number of cop shows that you can think of out there. if you like that type of a show, I highly suggest this series by Linda Castillo. This is Pray for Silence. Is this the first one? I don't recall. But there's a number of books out. This, no. Sworn to Silence, I think, is her first one. Anyways. Okay, so these books follow our main character, Kate Burkholder, and she is the only female, I believe she's the police chief or detective, in this town that has quite an Amish community about or around them. And so every book follows some sort of a murder, and then there's that whole like Amish take on it, and it's even more interesting because she used to be Amish and she left that community and then proceeded to find a career within law enforcement. So if you like those types of shows, you will truly, truly enjoy this series by Linda Castillo. Get it. I know they're on Book Outlet, if that helps. My next one is if you enjoy any type of a sci-fi TV show, I highly suggest Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Kind of an easy connection to see because this takes place in space in the future. We have a couple of spaceships that are out there that we're following. They are kind of running away from another spaceship that is chasing them after this epic battle, and so they have all these refugees on board. And all of this stuff happens, and it's told very interesting. It's as if this is a case file. So you have text messages, you have emails, you have surveillance, you have memos and manifestos and all of that fun stuff. And that's how you read the book. And it's really interesting how that comes together, but also creates this whole other atmosphere, as you will, because of the way the book is written. It's fantastic. Highly, highly, highly suggest. All right, my next book would be like, if you're one for scary, creepy, thriller type shows, I'm thinking like the show You, I was kind of thinking of in the beginning when I was coming up with my recommendation. But if you like those shows that kind of scare you, keep you on edge, I highly suggest The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter. Actually, anything by Karen Slaughter will totally keep you on edge. So this follows our main character. Her name is Charlotte, or they call her Charlie. Her and her sister grew up in this very small town in this really lovely family house until this horrible, horrible tragedy strikes that they end up surviving, and they go on to become adults and grow up, and Charlie is a lawyer in this town. She's still helping her dad in this town, and then all of a sudden something happens that all of these memories and this whole thing that happened in their past just comes back, and things aren't as they seem, and there's secrets that are revealed, and it is a wild ride. Wild ride. Read that. So then, to go on a completely different tangent, is my go-to channel when I don't have anything else to watch and I just want something on, or I just want something to feel good, is your always trusty Hallmark Channel movies. Granted, I watch them more probably around Christmas than I do now, but I have been having them on lately because what else is there to watch? And sometimes you just need a good, predictable, you know what's going to happen, feel-good book. Not book. Feel-good show. But here are some feel-good books that could totally be on the Hallmark Channel, I'm just saying. First one I'm going to talk to you about is Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This follows our main character, Hannah. She still really doesn't have any clue what she wants to do with her life. She's lived in 6 different cities and had a number of different jobs that really didn't mean anything to her. And she's on the heels of a really bad breakup, and she's returning to her hometown in Los Angeles. To celebrate her first night back, her very best friend Gabby takes Hannah out to a bar where she bumps into her high school boyfriend, Ethan. Just past midnight, when Gabby asks Hannah if she's ready to go, Ethan quickly offers to give her a ride later if she wants to. She hesitates and she wonders what happens if she leaves with him or what happens if she doesn't. And then you see both of those kind of that fork in the road, and we get to see what happens on both of them, if she goes with him and then if she doesn't. It's kind of fun. It's a really cute book. I really, really enjoyed it. Taylor Jenkins Reid is a fantastic author. And then the next one I have is The Magnolia Sisters by Michelle Major. I just read this not that long ago, and I still think about this book. So we have Avery Keller, who is a up-and-coming hotshot professional in her job. I think she works in like quality control or risk management or something. But her relationship ends up kind of blowing up, and in the end she has to quit her job because of the relationship she was in, and finds herself kind of without a job, and her job was her life. So she ends up at home when she learns that her father, who she never really knew, passed away, and she has to go to Magnolia, North Carolina to be part of this reading of the will. When she gets there, she realizes she has two sisters. So not only did she learn she has a father she didn't know about, which her mother kind of kept him from her, she also has these two sisters she knew nothing about. And the way the will is written, it's not going to be an easy sign something and get out of there. She's going to be there for a bit. And it goes from there, and it is glorious. And she meets this wonderful firefighter named Grayson and his adorable little daughter, who Avery and Grayson have, or Avery and her daughter, what's her name? Violet, whatever. They have this like banter that they go back and forth, and it's super adorable. But total Hallmark movie book right here. So if you're looking for something easy to read, there it is. Yes, sir.
Can I have some ice cream because
Nope, we're gonna have dinner pretty soon, okay? And then you may have some ice cream.
Oh,
Okay? Okay?
why?
Because we're gonna have dinner.
Why?
You obviously were eating something. Go look in the mirror upstairs. Okay, I just gotta finish this up, okay? So that's what I have for you today. If you have any book recommendations that you could think of based upon a show of some sort. Oh. Okay, so I have one more that I just thought of that I think would be fun. So if you're a fan of Survivor, and if you are a fan of Survivor, we need to chat. Oh wait, it'll be too late because yesterday will be the finale. Still, we need to chat because it has been a super fun season to watch. But if you're a fan of Survivor, I highly recommend Castaway by Jessica Fleck. So this is about this island that, in order to access the island, you have to find this secret passageway within this maze that's in this traveling carnival. And you kind of have to be a kid that kind of wants to get away. But once you go to this island, you are stranded there. You have nothing. You have to figure out shelter and food and fire, and there are other people there, and there are some people there that don't want you there, yet you kind of have to try to figure out how to get home and how to survive. And it gives you all kinds of Survivor feels to it. So this one follows Olive as she runs into this maze to get away from these bullies, and she ends up finding that portal and landing on the island and having to figure it out from there. So highly recommend if you're a Survivor fan. So that's all I have for you today. If you can think of any books that you would recommend based on TV shows, let's chat about it in the comments. Or if you're a Survivor fan, I need to talk to somebody because it's great. Otherwise, head on over to Sarah's channel and see what she has for you today. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.